The story opens up with Nissa being sad, surprise surprise, and this time it's because he can't talk to the land of Zhalfir, and that a planeswalker spark has gone dull. It casually drops the fact that a bunch of other planeswalkers lost the spark as well, including Teferi and Koth. Of the group that was on Zhalfir once March of the Machine ended, only Sandra and Ajani still have a spark. The story is basically Nissa being depressed, and Nissa tells Sandra she wants her to stick around, but Sandra's like, I gotta go find Ajani because he dipped, and Nissa gets pissed at her. Nissa wanders around and runs into a beast from another plane on Zhalfir. She tries to subdue it and fails, but is saved by the other Zhalfir desparked planeswalkers when they show up and help capture it. There is a portal there where it came from, which is an Omen Path, which can allow for creatures and people of other planes to travel to other ones. No one knows much about it or the dangers they could hold. Eventually, Sandra comes back and she and Nissa apologize and make up, and go through the Omen Path together. For the second story, we jump cut to Zendikar when Nahiri is no longer under Phyrexian influence. She's slowly ungrafted metal from her body, and apparently the amount of Halo put into her was enough to uncomplete her once the oil went in it. She was also technically desparked, but found a spark in a Hedron. Nahiri looked at everything she had done to Zendikar, and vows to fix it herself. She randomly bumps into Ajani, who tells her they have to atone for what they did, and they were the only people who knew what they went through, and that they have to heal the planes that they harmed. Nahiri basically tells them to fuck off, and thinks he's trying to trick her, but Ajani basically refuses to leave, and she's just kinda like, go mope somewhere else, bitch, you did a bunch of bad shit too, and Ajani gets pissed, but then the floor under Nahiri breaks and she falls down. The Hedron she had messed up, and the feeling of the spark inside of it was gone entirely. And then Nahiri does what she does best, which is get really fucking mad. She comes to the conclusion that planeswalkers only bring destruction, and it was their fault the invasion happened in the first place, even though she, willingly agreed to help with it. She also blames Sorin and Ugin for trapping the Eldrazi on Zendikar, despite, helping them do that. She vows to keep all planeswalkers away from Zendikar, and gets started on the Twit Longer to get them cancelled.